It's that time of the week again. Wednesday. How's it going, everyone? Hopefully, we've got them piling into the chat. We'll see here. Kalamazoo's in the house. Suki, Cool Beans. Ohio Relic Hunter. Shout out to Mr. Bill. How is it going, sir? All Tar Heel Diggin' in the house. For those who follow the YouTube channels and stuff like that, Tar Heel just put out another nice video. May want to drop in and check that out. He's always got something interesting going on. Very good job with his videos, too. He definitely does excellent with it, has a great passion for the hobby, makes some very nice finds. If you haven't subscribed to him, shame on you. That's the way it goes. But it's good to see people dropping into the chat. Last week, good times. Stacy was a great guest to have on. And, you know, a little bit of a glitch there. Hopefully we don't see it return this week. We're hoping, fingers crossed, that it was just a storm. So we'll see how that goes. But it is Wednesday, and we are back, we are live, and you are listening to Beyond Sight and Sound Metal Detecting and Treasure Hunting Radio. For who? For you, the always valued and appreciated listener. And I, obviously, we all know who I am your host, Josh Kimmel. And tonight, Dirt Bandit's not around, so off to Massachusetts. How's it going, Leighton?
Hey, good evening. How's it going, Josh? And happy Thanksgiving to you and all the listeners, buddy.
Yes, good point. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. Hopefully, you all have a good day, and to all the listeners, happy Thanksgiving to them. And if they are traveling, please, by all means, travel safe.
Yeah, be safe. Drink responsibly, huh?
Right. Everybody can arrive and have their nice turkey dinner, and then hopefully make it home safe to hunt another day.
Oh man, I'll tell you. Well, you know, it's one of those really great festival times of year where you know, the family gets together, and boy, I can already smell the turkey cooking in the other room. So we've got usually a house full here. I'm not sure about you, but we got a house full tomorrow, and so we always have to have at least 2 turkeys going. So we cook one the night before, and then tomorrow we'll cook the fresh one, and we'll have pies and everything else left over for a whole week.
Wow. Yeah, that is a house full if you guys are doing 2. Now, do you guys bake these, or, you know, some people do that whole deep fried thing? I'm not sure how healthy that is, but...
Yeah, I deep fry one outside while the missus is doing the one on the inside. So she did hers this evening, and I'll do mine tomorrow.
I've never had a deep fried turkey. I hear they're very good, though.
Oh, they are the best. They are so juicy. You can actually overcook it, but you know it's pretty tough to do that, and you can always tell when they're done. But I'll tell you, it is dangerous. You just got to really be careful. I always set mine out on the lawn. I don't even, with a big slate underneath the deep fryer, so that way if anything does spill over, it doesn't catch fire. Got to really be careful, obviously.
Oh, good point. Yeah, because
you know you always hear of nights, you know, nightmares of things.
Yeah,
like that.
the horror stories.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, you know, for the most part, they're safe. You just got to be really careful.
And them things. Oh man, they hold like what, 5 quarts of oil?
Yeah, they do. In fact, even some of them are even bigger. So you got to be careful. You got to kind of know your limits. You don't want to put that oil too close to the top, because once she starts bubbling, you know, I'm usually up around 200. That's pretty hot oil.
Right. How long does it take to heat something like that up?
Not long under that propane. I'll tell you, I've got that 30-pound propane tank, so she gets to boiling really quick.
Swanzey's in the chat and says, "Smoke a bird."
There you go. Hey, Swans, how you doing? Happy Thanksgiving.
He's definitely big on the smoking and grilling. I bet a smoked turkey would be good, too, though.
Oh, my God. I went to Bass Pro one day. There's a free plug for him, by the way. Went up there, and, oh, my goodness. You know, they were giving away smoked turkey pieces as you walked in, because they were selling a smoker, obviously, and that was the whole idea of it. But, man, I'll tell you, it was better than beef jerky. And I know I said that out loud. It was better than the beef jerky. It was good.
Well, you can't beat that then. Not at all.
No.
But it is. It's a great time of the year for family to get together and stuff like that. Unfortunately for me, with some of my other projects, being in retail, I'm always tied up because everybody has to get out and do their Black Friday shopping that never happens on Friday anymore. What's up with that?
Yeah, I know. I'm hearing a lot of the same thing here in Massachusetts, too. It's, you know, Black Friday was just that one day, but now it's extended, you know, even a month or two prior to the actual Black Friday day. So,
oh, yeah, everybody does their early bird sales, and then what is that? The following Monday, they call it Cyber Monday or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's, you know, and everybody's following the trend. I mean, I've seen Christmas trees up already, and well, you know, you're in that area of the same type of, like you said, retail. I'm sure you've got Christmas trees up at your place already too. So,
oh yeah, they had them up a month and a half ago.
Yeah, it's to me it's out of hand. It's almost like you don't even get a chance to enjoy the actual holiday that's you're coming up on. Never mind one that's you know a month away, 2 months away.
You know, that's a great point too, because they it seems like everybody's lost focus. Yeah. I mean, in retail stores, you don't even see all the Halloween off of the shelves.
Right.
And they're already setting up stuff for Christmas.
Right.
Everybody's interested in the almighty dollar, I guess.
Right, right. Hey, you know, talking about Christmas, I believe you have something to give away, don't you?
Oh. Are we talking about our announcement?
Yeah, well, not quite that, but we'll tease them a little bit with that. But the people that are tuned in right now don't want to miss this. But that aside, I think you got a little gift over there. Maybe you can give to a caller or something.
Yes, yes, I do. As a matter of fact,
pick a number, and maybe we can give them something nice away and get the ball rolling tonight. Feel in a good mood. Let's give something away.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, it's Thanksgiving.
How about the first caller? How about we do it the first caller? Let's see who can call in the fastest.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, who's got their phone on speed dial?
Yeah. And then we'll go from there. And then we can we can let them know a little bit about what we might be planning in the future. We've got a big announcement.
Well, it looks like we've got our caller already.
There you go.
Who do we have here? 603.
Well, guess who's got their phone on speed dial?
That's great.
He's probably getting geared up to smoke a turkey now.
And all the fixings. The wife's been cooking pies all night long. The butternut squash is ready to go. The potatoes are going to be going in the morning.
Hey, buddy, I can smell that stuff all the way over here in Cape Cod. It smells great. Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Hey, thank you, Roy, and I appreciate that. You too, buddy.
Hey, no problem. Thank you so much.
Hey, we live in New England. We have to celebrate Thanksgiving to its fullest.
Hey, you know, this is where the turkeys all started, and we are a bunch of turkeys. You know that.
You're damn right. And not only that, but we didn't even have actually turkeys on Thanksgiving. You realize that, right?
Oh, I know. It was fish and corn. I know.
It was
Birds of a feather.
And everything about it.
That's right. It's all good. It's it's all commercialized. It's just another way to get rid of a bunch of turkeys.
That's right. Well, we have so many up here in New England. I mean, Christ, the wild turkeys, they come through our yard at 22 to 24 a flock.
Oh, my goodness. I had two in the backyard a couple days ago. My wife called me up. She goes, "You're never going to guess." I said, "I know, turkeys in the backyard." She goes, "Yep, they were chasing my chickens."
Oh, man.
So she's looking out going, wow, that's a big chicken.
Chicken, yeah, exactly.
With a vertical flight of like 30 feet.
Yeah, exactly. No, it was great. I love seeing that stuff out there. It brings me back to when I was a kid when we used to have, the native pheasants in our area, but geez, them are long gone. I don't think I've seen a pheasant around here in 25 years.
Wow.
Yeah, we don't have a lot with those pheasants up here either.
Yeah, sad situation. Times have changed, so we live with it, and it's nice to see the birds, but they're kind of a nuisance sometimes. I actually had to stop the other day and let a flock of about, like you said, 20 or so go by. But I guess they're native to our area, so little did they know that when they replanted them or reseeded them, that they were going to take off as much as they did.
Right. Exactly. Well, the funny thing, too, tonight is we've had a bunch of bird feeders taken out of the backyard. And the wife decided to make her pies tonight, and she put her pies out on the back deck on the railings to cool off. I said, "You don't think so when Smokey the Bear comes by and takes those pies right off the back porch?"
Oh, Jesus. That's right. You got bears over there, right?
And we do.
Mm.
So are the pies still there?
The pies are now inside the house, but they cooled out nicely on the back deck, but they're inside the house now, so they're safe for tomorrow.
Awesome.
Okay, so the bird feeder thief didn't get a free dessert.
No, he had no chance this time.
That's good. So tell me, what's your favorite pie, and then I'll let you know what mine is. And you may kind of cringe, but I think if you ever try one, you'll love it. But go ahead. Maybe it's the same one. Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong.
Leighton, if I have to choose a pie, my favorite pie has always been strawberry rhubarb.
Nice.
Okay. That's great. That's great. How about you, Josh?
I'm a big fan of a good peanut butter pie.
Peanut butter pie. I've never heard of that. This is what's great about doing things like this, because
oatmeal pie's good too, though.
Oh my goodness! I'll tell you, I love squash pie. I don't know if anybody's ever it doesn't sound very good, but boy, it's better than pumpkin, and it's just got that great taste. I love it. Squash pie.
Huh. I've never, I don't believe I've even heard of it.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it sounds kind of nasty, but it is fantastic.
It sounds like the squash cookies that we have up here, as opposed to like a regular chocolate chip cookie. The wife does squash and chocolate chip cookies.
Oh, wow, that sounds really good.
Those
I'd love to try one of those. Yeah.
Matter of fact, we've got some home-baked pumpkin cookies we'll have tomorrow.
Awesome. Pumpkin cookies. So you going to tell the man what this guy won or what?
Yeah. Swans, before we went live, we thought, maybe we've got something we can give away. And I went ahead and dug into the box and found a MindLab first aid kit.
A MindLab first aid kit that I can use the next time I dig with Leighton Harrington for the first time ever.
All right. Hope you don't have to use that. Jesus.
Yeah, let's not wish any ill luck on anyone.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, it comes with a life ring. You can put it around your neck if we do some water hunting.
There you go. Hey, I've got the AT Pro. It's completely waterproof, and I'm willing to do it.
All right. Awesome. Yeah, we'll get together. Don't worry. We'll get you down here.
Yeah, or even you to his neck of the woods.
Yeah. In fact, you're going to want to really stay tuned. I know you're a dedicated listener and call-in person.
Oh yeah, long-time listener.
You're going to want to really listen in. Josh and I have come up with something in the last couple of nights that we've talked about, and we're tossing it back and forth, and we pretty much confirmed it tonight. After Christmas, right around the New Year's, after the holidays start to lay down a little bit, Josh has a really big announcement, and we're going to be giving away something really, really nice. Let's put it this way. There is no other radio show, and I'll re-emphasize that, there is no other radio show that has ever given away anything like this.
Yeah, pretty much to the best of my knowledge, I've never heard one of them do it.
Right. So, just to kind of throw that out to the audience and you there, Swans, it's something that everybody will have a free chance at, and we're not sure exactly how we're going to get it done, but we're going to make it work.
Yeah, we're still.
I really don't care about winning giveaways and stuff like that. I'm in here for the exclusive knowledge of the people that Josh has on his show, Josh himself. This is what it's all about for detecting. The giveaways are just a bonus. You know, just to hang out with you guys and talk to you guys and read the chat and go along with this. That's a winner for everybody in my book.
Well, that's very cool of you, but this one, you might find some interest in it if we can figure out how we're going to pull it off.
Yeah, he will. He will. I know he will.
Hopefully it's an invite to a giant hunt, and I'll be good with that.
Well, we'll
go.
Yeah, you just never know what's going to happen around here.
All right, guys. Well, Josh, great show. Nice talking to you, Leighton, as well. Happy Turkey Day to everybody out there, and can't wait to listen to the rest of the show.
Awesome.
We'll get with it.
That's right.
Make sure you PM his your address there.
Oh, Josh has my info. I guarantee that.
Oh, yeah. He's a... not only is Swanzey a regular listener, but he's a regular customer of Cam's Tasty Treats.
Oh, yes, the breads. You cannot top the breads.
She's definitely been busy with this time of the year, making buckeyes and pies and breads and cookies and chocolates and, oh, good grief.
Not a bad thing, buddy. You get to sit there in the house and sample them to make sure that they go out the door, product approved.
Well, yeah, but that may put me into the market for a new wetsuit next year.
Yeah,
I may kind of outgrow mine.
Yeah, not downsizing either, right, Josh?
No. Hopefully, I'm just hoping that it's not a supersize.
Oh my goodness, I hope not.
But no, I'm still, as far as I know, the suit still fits. I just got to get out and do some water hunting to make sure. Water hunting was banned in my area this year.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You were saying that they had a lot of algae area.
Yeah.
I guess, I'm not even sure. I guess I was kicked out of a place, too. Well, asked to leave. I wasn't really kicked out. He just asked me to leave nicely. He said I could stay if I wanted, but he highly recommended that I leave because they said that there were some cancers that were caused by certain algae, and even though I had a wetsuit on, if you rubbed your eyes, it was very easy to get into your eyes, into your pores, and and it just wasn't a good idea to stay there. So I took him up on his offer and I left.
Right. Yeah, I've heard of people getting severely sick after they've been in, some of that water that they definitely advise you to steer clear of.
Yeah, not good. Not good at all.
No, not at all. But
you can always come this way, even if your wetsuit's a size bigger. That's okay. I got plenty of room.
Well, hopefully it's not, and as long as it's not, it should be pretty decent for your neck of the woods too. It's a 5 mil.
Yeah, I had a nice little water hunt today. I mean, the ground was freezing on us there between yesterday and this morning. We got down to the low 20s there, so it kind of froze up the ground about an inch or two. Inside the shade areas, we weren't able to dig at all, so I had to stay in the sunny areas yesterday. So I said, I think today is a good day to be versatile again, and I switched gears and I did a little water hunt this afternoon. I was out there for about 2 hours, and I've been hitting this particular smaller beach a good 10 solid years now, and you're still pulling stuff out of there. It's amazing. I had such a nice low tide today. The wind was hardly nothing. It was a great day to be out in the water, and the clarity of the water, the visibility must have been over 10 feet. And so, I could see the scoop really well, and the tide, like I said, was still going out. So when I dug a hole, all the silt was moving behind me. It was perfect. So, but we managed some silvers. We managed a nice old antique lock that came out of the water of, let's say, maybe about 3 or 4 feet deep, and the lock was down about 1.5 feet under the mud. So we managed to get some nice antiques out of there, nice antique sinkers and some spoons.
Yeah,
it was a great
still
day.
Got some goodies, even.
Yeah, it was great. It was a great day. A couple of bobbers. I had an old Indian head penny, and the unfortunate thing about salt water, it's unlike fresh water. It's the coins don't come out. They're not very favorable, but they're there.
No, yeah, the environment's not very nice to the coin.
No, it's not very friendly at all, Josh. I mean, the silver gets caked up. We call them cookie coins. If they've been there 100 years, most of them, a dime, if the erosion isn't there constantly, and if it's in a back bay, most of the time a dime will come out that's about 100 years old, looking the thickness of a quarter or even more, $0.50 sometimes.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, you can break the coin apart and see what it is, but actually the piece that you break off, you can see better than the coin itself.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I imagine those crummy zinc pennies and stuff, the elements probably just eat those for snacks.
Pretty much, yeah. They only last about 1.5 years now. I can't tell you how many pieces of pennies that I find. They just don't last, which is kind of a good thing, I guess, but it's a pain too. It's kind of half of 1/6 of the other. So, but yeah, they really do sound just like silver, especially if they're in the water. And it takes 3 times as long in the water when you think of the elements that we're actually digging in. I mean, put yourself in my situation. You're out in the water. Most of the time it's freezing. It's in the middle of January. Add the water depth, the depth of the coin itself. It's not a fun day. You've got, let's put it this way, you work for every target. You really do work for every single target.
Oh yeah, I'm sure, and especially this time of the year.
Right.
I mean, if you're not used to that sort of stuff, that water's kind of chilly.
Yeah, it's a bit nippy. It is. It's one of those elements that you do get used to, but on the other hand, the rewards are there. It's always great. It's amazing. It can be 20 degrees out there in only 30-degree water, but when you find a gold ring sitting in the bottom of your scoop, it's now all of a sudden 80 and you're in the Bahamas.
Right. That's true. But that's one advantage too, I think, being right there near the salt water, is that it doesn't freeze up like the freshwater areas do. Plus, you've got the tidal action.
Right. Well, salt water, I believe, has to be 28 degrees before it'll actually start to freeze. So, that's 4 degrees difference in what the freshwater. Or it might even be a little bit less than that. I think it's 28. But anyway, somewhere in there.
Right. Plus, with the tide action, you've got that constant movement, the wave action and stuff.
Right. We've got 4 tides a day, 2 lows, 2 highs. So, and then, of course, it depends on the moon phase, too, and the wind direction. So it does help us in a way, and in other ways it can hurt us. The waves sometimes after the storms here, especially if they're onshore in the winter, which is what we always like to see, is that nor'easter come through. That's what usually produces all of our gold for us.
Nice.
Yeah, it is
definitely.
Nice. And, here's another aspect, too. Sometimes if it's calm for a long time, let's say a good, 2-3 weeks in a row, that still wind lets everything freeze a little bit faster. So that's one element. But on the other end of that element, if the ice does pack up to be 1 foot or 2 or even 3 feet thick, which it does get that thick down here sometimes on the Cape, it'll pick up sand with it and move it offshore when it starts to thaw in the spring. So that also creates, little divots and areas of, they're like small icebergs. They'll pick up a lot of sand, move it out, and then when it melts, it drops it out at sea, and it removes it from the beach itself where it was actually laying for the last 2 months. So it's great.
That's a good point, because that kind of helps clear off some of the overburden of the beach, too.
Absolutely, yeah. Something that's been piling up for the last... Because our prevailing wind here in New England is southwest. So basically every single day by 11 to 12 o'clock every day we'll get a good 10 to 15 mile an hour wind, almost like what you would call as a tropical wind down, in Mexico. Their 20 and 30 mile an hour winds are our 10 and 15 mile an hour winds up here in New England. And it's always, or mostly, out of the southwest. That's a prevailing wind here in the summer, in our summer months, the good 6 months.
Wow.
Between May and like October. This year was a little on the exceptional side. We did get a lot of north wind, but it was still good.
Well, certainly not bad. And clearly, your posts show you were still getting out hunting, and it wasn't stopping you, not by any means.
Well, the only thing that did stop me was it made me, again, we go back to that word versatile. You have to be, because if you want to produce every day, you have to learn to change up real quick. And because our beaches have been sanded in because of our southwest wind this year, New Jersey got really, they reaped the rewards down there these last 2 storms. Whereas here in Massachusetts, we got sanded in. So it doesn't take very far of a span in mileage ways.
For the entire environment to change, basically.
That's right. Yep. From state to state, from town to town. I've seen it where one tide, it's completely dug out and go back only within 24 hours. 2 tides later, it'll be all sanded in, like it never was even there.
Right. Yeah, kind of like for the dirt diggers, if you're digging in, say, a yard that's had backfill brought in or something, and then you go 2 houses down, and it may have nice, rich soil. Easy digging.
Right. Yeah, in fact, I was in a park like that yesterday where, what brought me to the park said that, if you look back on the old maps from 1895, this park looks exactly like it did back in the day. But when I started to dig, I noticed that the soil was a light tan, and it was full of rocks. But when I went to the edges of the park, that was exactly what I felt too. Once I started digging, I said the same thing. Ooh, I knew it was not original. Right away.
Yeah, you flip that plug and go, uh-oh, this isn't good.
That's right. And I really had a hard time flipping the plug, to be honest with you. There were so many rocks, and the soil was just a tan color. Up here, if it's black, it's good. It's really good. And I knew right away. So I moved to an area where I thought maybe they didn't bulldoze or cut or replenish, I should say. I like to use the term repunish, because that's basically
what it boils down to.
Right. They repunish us or replenish us with new dirt, thinking that they're making it look nice environmentally, but it's always never the case. But anyway, so I did find an area, wasn't very big. It was only like 20 feet by maybe 10 feet wide, but it had a lot of overgrowth rose bushes. But that was the only place that produced anything at all. I got 3 wheat pennies, and I got a little tiny shield. I'm not sure exactly what it is yet, but I'll have to wait to clean that up. But that was underneath the rose bush, but it was in black soil, and it was much easier to dig. So I knew that was original dirt from the 1890s.
Oh, yeah. When I cut a plug and I see that dirt like that I don't even care if it's, a quarter from the mid-'60s or something. I've still got a smile going, yeah, I know I'm in good dirt now. There's something good hiding around here. That's
right. That's when here's an old saying that I always, I like to post it every now and then. When I find a weedy, I throw out the anchor. And what I mean by that is I slow down to a point where it's just a snail's pace. And, those are little telltale signs that you learn over the time with experience. And, it's like learning. It's like learning to understand the ripples or anything like that on a beach when you don't see any depressions. Sometimes I even get down and squat down on my hands and knees and look that way. It looks funny at first, but it usually pays off. I can find the smaller depressions, and I'll find a place that produces.
Yeah, I had kind of done that myself, not last weekend, but the weekend before. I was out hunting with Homefinder, actually, and got up into the curb lawn of the area, hit that 1870s baggage tag, which was the only old item that I had ran across by that point. A little further up the curb lawn, I hit 2 wheat pennies back to back, and I said, okay, now I'm into wheats, I'm into some older coins, there's got to be something good, slow down and take your time. Right. Never did kick up the elusive silver, though, just another wheat penny.
Well, you know, that railroad tag that I saw, that to me is even better than a silver, although I love silver, as you know. But, you know, those railroad tags are tough to come by. Those are a lot more scarce than any silver that you're going to find. You know, mercury dimes, rosies, and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
great find.
I'm still looking for information on that thing.
Yeah, I tried looking it up for you too. I didn't see too much going on about it.
Yeah, I mean, I've got information on the railroad, but I can't find any other examples of baggage tags from that particular rail line yet. Right. Yep,
I looked too, and I know at first you thought maybe it was a livery tag, but then when I saw the double R on it,
oh no,
obviously.
Yeah, on mine I knew it was a railroad baggage tag, but the one that I had sent you that we thought might have been like a livery tag was one that HomeFinder found.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, definitely a cool find. Congratulations on that. Them things. And I love how the patina is on it. Oh my God, it's awesome.
Oh yeah. I had a lot of comments on that too. People asking, what did you do to clean that? And it's honest, it's just soap and water. I didn't do no secret trick.
Yeah, well, you know, some ground is better to objects than others. I mean, like we just got through talking about, it depends on where you find it, how long it's been there, you know, the acidity in the ground. Here in New England, we have a lot of pine trees with, you know, those pine needles really beat things up. It depends on where you are.
I've heard about that from people, that a lot of times crazy. Those finds not real grand.
No, but the coinage is there. If you know what we call them. They're basically filler coins. If you've got a collection of a certain type of coin and you're looking for it and you happen to find one, you can tell what it is. You might get a date off of it, but it really isn't worth anything at all. But it's a filler coin. It's a coin that, you know, you've either looked for your whole entire life or a bucket list or whatever, but at least you can fill the plug in your book.
That's true.
Now we say I found one.
That. Yeah.
Exactly. It's kind of like that Continental dollar that I have. You know, it is broken, it's cracked, but it's a filler coin, to be honest with you. But it's a cool coin, you know?
Right. Yeah. And it looks better than what was there.
That's right. That's right. Nothing. Exactly. My point. Exactly. It's better than having nothing.
Yeah. I mean, you know what it is. It still counts.
Oh, yeah. It's very legible. It's just that it's broken, unfortunately. And I didn't realize what I had found. I'd never found one of those before, and I don't even know too many. I think I've seen maybe one or two other excavated currency coins over my 40-plus years. There may be a few others, but I've only known of two that have been dug. One was silver, and the other one was pewter, like mine. And you know, and those were in better condition than mine. They were both found in the dirt, but because I'm so much of a water hunter, when I found mine on the beach, it was on the, like in between the sand, the wet sand and the dry sand. It was right at the top of high tide area. And being pewter and on the beach for the last 200+ years,
right,
it really took its toll on the pewter, so it made it brittle. So when I dug it out and I looked at it, I actually thought I had a token. I did see the words "mind your business," but I had no idea what I had. So I threw it in my pouch, and I had already broken it, got home, looked it up, cleaned it, and I went, oh my God.
Right.
Anyway, it is what it is, but you got a caller there, buddy.
Yeah, we've got a caller. Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, HomeFinder here.
How is it going, sir?
That tag where you guys were just talking about, the nearest I got on it is St. Mary's Machine Company. Now,
so maybe it went to a
the original building is still there. It's part of the foundry.
Interesting.
St. Mary's machine. What type of machinery is it?
They didn't have that information for me, but evidently it was a very dirty job, and these tags were used when they went into work to put on their clothes. They took their clothes off, they put the tag on it, and hung it up, and then number 51, they'd come out, they'd have to shower there and the whole 9 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Change clothes, come back home.
Right, so that's how they redeemed their clothes. It was the same thing as when you used to do like a tool crate.
Kind of like a coat tag.
Right. You'd go in, you'd pick a tool that you need, they'd give you a tag number, you bring it back, and they give you the tag back and whatever. And that's how they did it. That was the only way you could get it back into the tool crib.
Nice. Well, and I still say those were definitely the interesting finds of the day that day. Home Finder had his tag, and then it was just a few minutes after that, because he brought it over and showed it to me, and then a few minutes later I hit that baggage tag. So the rest of the hunt I kept thinking, man, why doesn't he bring me over a silver coin to show me too? Maybe I can dig a silver then.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's all right. I mean, it was still good to get out. Definitely good to get back together with Home Finder and do some hunting. Good times. There were some finds made. I had hoped that I'd be able to see him dig his first Indian, but we just, you got to get your coil over the target, and the Indians were elusive for us that day.
Well, we can always go back.
That's right. There's always next time. So we'll see how that goes. Also, it looks like we've been joined by Relic Dirty Hands, Trooper Bry, Gone Fishing, and Bob. Oh, and Denny. Ringfinders in the house.
Oh, nice. Well, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Happy Thanksgiving to you, too.
Yes, definitely. Hopefully, you're planning on having a nice big dinner there, Home Finder.
Yeah, we got everything under control. Just two of us here, but we'll have plenty of leftovers.
Well, it ought to be
always good.
Ought to be easy to maintain all the company that way.
Yeah, we like it. Actually, when you get older, it's I really do like it.
Hey, there's something to be said for some nice, relaxing peace and quiet sometimes.
Yeah, and that pumpkin, or not pumpkin, but peanut butter pie they was talking about. Just think of peanut butter and a whole lot of Cool Whip mixed together, and that's the pie.
I was going to say another apt description would be to just think diabetic coma.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely. And it looks like we're joined by none other than Ringfinder himself. How was DIV, buddy?
It was great, Josh. I posted a few pictures on your page. I didn't put my finds on there yet. I did put one on. I found a Sharps Hankins bullet, and it's got a little tip on the bottom of it. And then when I found it, I thought, man, this can't be a Sharps William Cleaner. It was in a case, you know. So I looked around, and the guy said, you've got a Sharps Hankins bullet. A special rifle shot that. And I don't know, they put it on there, I suppose, to maybe thinking that it would shoot straighter. I don't know what the purpose of it was. It was a pretty cool bullet.
Now, see, that may be just right down Home Finder's alley. He's kind of into that sort of stuff.
Well, I got a picture of it on there. I found a carved bullet, too. I had pulled it, and then he made a chest piece out of it. And my buddy, he found another chest piece, carved bullet. I think he's got a full set by now.
No plates?
Yeah, he's the luckiest guy in finding chest pieces.
Right.
In fact, I think he's even got some dice he found one time, carved out of a bullet.
Nice.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Any plates this time for Ringfinder?
Yes, I saw 3 or 4 posted on the net already, and they're always special to find. I did not find one this time. I got my new GPX 5000 just in time to take it to the hunt. I've got, I don't know, 25 or 30 bullets. And I found a pistol guard, or a rifle pistol, or trigger guard, and some other interesting things. It was pretty cool. I found a couple of 69 trigger ringers, but they had cut the bottom parts off of both of them and probably made checkers out of them. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. Well, and if there were no plates for you this time, the last plate you got had a good... So I guess you can always kind of remember that one until you find the next one. Yeah,
Butch Holcomb, really, he always gives me heck every time we see each other that I stole his plate, but it's a good story, and I'll always enjoy it.
Right. So, well, and, you know, some of us have never had the opportunity to recover a plate, so
well,
at least you're one up.
My buddy found one in Lima when we were, probably told the story many times on here, that they were building Lima Senior High and down by the river, and the guy was getting ready to fill in a trench. He put a tile in, and he asked my other buddy, he says, "You want to hunt this hill before I push it back in?" He said, "Sure." And my buddy yells over, "Hey, I found a Budweiser belt buckle." And I looked at it and I said, "That's an officer's sword belt plate." "No, it's not." So I had to take him down to Allen County Museum, and of course they've got one there. I said, "Right there's what you got." And he about had a heart attack.
Wow.
So, you know,
well, I can understand why.
There were 330,000 soldiers from Ohio in the Civil War, and they lived somewhere. So it's out there. We just have to get the coil over it.
That's right.
Yeah. So, and I found a lot of reunion badges in Ohio, and I have never.
What, like the GAR badges?
Yes, the GAR
nice.
badges. Yes, that's correct.
Nice.
Actually, one of them was one of the earliest reunions. It was in Atlanta, Georgia, and of course I've got one out of Chicago also. So those are pretty special, and they came out of a ghost town here in Ohio.
Nice.
The town was built because they thought the railroad was going to go by there, and it did not.
No, they missed it.
Just sort of, there was like 30 or 40 houses, 3 churches in this town, and I don't know how many saloons. And when the railroad went south of them, they just kind of disbanded.
Well, that seems to be the case for Ohio. It seems like the churches and saloons run neck and neck, or saloons outnumber.
Yep, and they had 2 blacksmith shops that I know of, and one of them made their own sleigh bells. They're not sleigh bells like we know that have a number on them. They're just sleigh bells that he made, and he never put a number on the bottom of them. You know, like 1 through 30 or something. I forget what the highest number is. But his were all small sleigh bells. He never had any big ones. I found probably 15 in one spot, probably where the guy lived, because it's kind of funny. It was alongside of a road, and there was sleigh bells laying everywhere. I actually laying on top of the ground at one time. Not anymore.
Wow.
Well, I wanted to ask your caller, your speaker tonight, and I think maybe he's talked something about this, but with the hurricanes coming through, how deep are the cuts, and what kind of finds do you? I'm sure you get doubloons out of those very easily, don't you?
I wish they were easy.
And what kind of machine are you using?
Well, let me answer your first question. The cuts usually are out of the nor'easters that we get, and some of the cuts I've seen go and remove at least 10 to 12, sometimes 15 feet of sand off of our beaches. So It makes a big difference. We find anything from Spanish cobs all the way to gold rings, class rings, high school rings.
Yeah.
I'm a water hunter, that's for sure. And I swing a Mine Lab XCal, and I also have a CTX for the last 3 years.
Okay. I use a Mine Lab Xterra, a Tesoro Tiger Shark is what I use. But I also have a Garrett Infinium that I really like.
Yeah, the Infiniums are great in the water. I have a few friends that swear by them. They say they go a little deeper, but I mean, let's face it, if the stuff's been cut out, it's not a matter of depth at that point. It's just a matter of getting over it.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
That's
very
true.
Good. I used to have an Explorer, not Explorer. Which one? The
Excal?
Mine Lab you've got.
Yeah, I got an Excal 2.
Yeah, an Excalibur. I had one of the first ones, and I actually, when they changed coils many years ago, I sent it back in, and they cut the wire on my old one and put a new one on it and sent it back to me. I hip mounted it long before hip mount was ever heard of, because it was too heavy at that time for even me. And then I just finally sold it to a guy down in Florida and went to my Tiger Shark and never looked back.
Right. Well, I will say, one disadvantage of the Excalibur when you purchase it, the supposedly ergonomic handle that comes with the Excalibur isn't so ergonomic. But I will say, Anderson shafts will set you up if you ever need to replace it, because
that's what I was going to say. You know how to fix that problem.
Yeah, I got an Anderson shaft. I had it on my they're an Infinium, actually.
Right. So, I've had them make me one, and it's what they call a 3-piece setup. It can go behind your back, it can go as a dive shaft, or you can use it as just a regular swing model. So that's the way I've got it, the over and under with the guard, the trigger guard, and the button guard on the side of it.
So do you dive also?
Yes, I do.
I never wanted to know what was under there. I mean, in Salina Lake, Lake St. Mary's, there's some big fish down there. When they go through your legs, I don't even want to know what they look like. Is that right, Josh?
Well,
yeah, that's right. I've seen people pull catfish out of there easily as long as my arm.
Oh, yeah, or longer.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, here we don't have to worry about catfish getting that big. We have a smaller version of your catfish in freshwater. We call them hornpout, but they still have barbs on the top of their head, and they get about 3 pounds. Not quite as big as those big ones you're talking about, but still not a good thing to be stepping on. But we don't have to worry too much about that stuff. Anything here we have to worry about is more afraid of us than we are of them. So, unless you don't like snakes or eels or something like that, that's about the only thing we really have to worry about. Great white sharks, I mean, although on occasion, in New England here, we do get them close to shore, but, I mean, let's face it, we all look like a seal in the water when we're, got those wetsuits on, so it's not a good idea. I mean, stay away from them areas, that's all. Go somewhere else.
So do you have jellyfish up that way too, or not, or is it too cold?
I'm sorry, what was the question again?
The jellyfish, are they up that way also?
Yeah, we do get the Portuguese man-o-war that you're referring to, which is another good reason to, even though it's warm water here in the summertime, it's a good idea to wear some type of protective gear. Yeah.
Right. I wear a wetsuit here in Ohio all the time. Most in the summer I wear a shorty, but early in the spring I wear a full wetsuit, and late in the fall I wear a full wetsuit. So.
Right.
Yeah, I'd never go in the water even in the summertime, because I'm in the water 8 hours here, even in Ohio, and you get hypothermia if you don't.
Oh yeah, right. And as well as I do, speaking from experience, hypothermia sets in before you even realize it's there. So
it only takes just a couple of degrees difference in body temperature for those very early signs. May not be enough for you to notice, but it's already started.
Yeah. Right. And here we have
you, Josh. When you water detect, you wear boots?
Yes, boots? Actually, I wear a pair of they're 5 or 6 mil, 5 or 6 mil Seeks.
Yeah.
Hard sole.
Right, that's what I wear. But I used to wear a soft sole in Indian Lake, and I could tell a bottle a mile away just by my foot. It was a Coke bottle or a beer bottle.
Well, now, I'll tell you, that's exactly why I wear the hard sole. That way I don't step on a busted piece of glass or jagged beer can or something.
Right. Yeah, well, here's here's another thing to throw into the mix too, Ringfinder, is honestly, when I go to Mexico, we do what we call the shuffle walk. And Josh knows this from experience, because if you don't, you can get stung by those rays down there. I've had a good friend of mine who got stung on the inside of his thigh, the groin, and it put him out of commission for a whole day down there. So,
wow, yeah, I believe that, yeah.
Yeah, you got to be really careful in areas that you're not familiar with. You never know what the elements are. Down south, it's the snakes. Up where you are, it's the big catfish. Like you say, I mean, it could be any broken bottles. You got to be careful.
There's snakes in Josh's lake too. We were out in one of the swim islands, Josh, and my buddy, he always takes his wetsuit off before he goes in because it's easier in the water, and I usually wait till I get back to shore. Well, he was taking off his wetsuit out laying on the island. My other buddy out in the water said, "Hey, Denny, there's a snake going through your legs." And I looked down and said, "Yep, sure is." And I didn't move, but the guy on land, he almost walked on water.
Yeah, every now and then we'll see a picture get posted where someone was walking along and found a snake eating a fish on the shore.
Yeah,
or
for sure.
And we had there for the longest time. We had an island out there that they referred to as Snake Island because it's just chock full of them.
But I tell you, there were some good rings around that thing. I think one of my buddies found a $10,000 ring out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. So they're in there.
Oh yeah, I've mentioned it to Leighton a few times that he may have to get down this way, and we'll do some water hunting.
That'd be a fact. I'll come if they ever get so we can get back in the water. That'd be good.
Yeah.
That's
right. Exactly. The algae kind of stacked the deck against us this year.
Yeah. Actually, one of my friends, in fact, it was the guy who was on land. That was the last time we ever hunted there. Long before they said the water was bad there, we always said we glowed for 3 days after we got out of that lake. And he actually caught something from that. Almost died down at Columbus at Ohio State University. He was in the hospital there for 3 months. And,
it's funny you mention that way because
that's bad stuff.
People have known since the probably the mid-'60s.
Oh yeah.
About the issues with the water around here, and only maybe within the last 15 years have started to address it somewhat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well,
it's a shame. And he couldn't prove it. He cut himself down there, and he got some of that disease in his body. They couldn't figure out what it was for a long time, but we know. Shortly after we left there, he got deathly sick, and he withered down to nothing. And thank God he turned around and is back with us again. But he doesn't go water hunting anymore.
Yeah, you got to be careful with it.
He's one of the lucky ones.
You were saying, Leighton, that
I was going to say that back in the day. I mean, I don't remember it, but I remember my dad telling me growing up that they actually remember. In our back bays where all our textile mills were, they remember seeing raw sewage come right from the textile mills, right being pumped into the back bays in our estuaries.
Wow!
I can't imagine that today. I mean, and then we had those textile mills too, also pumping PCBs into our back bays. So between the raw sewage and the PCBs, and then they built a dike out at the beginning of the bay. That confines restricts your water movement in and out with our tides. So it had nowhere to go. So it settled on the ground and it stayed there for the last 100 or 150 years. Sad situation.
Yeah.
Killed it. We killed it.
Yeah.
Cam's putting the stuff on you on the net, Josh.
I caught that. He's not coming home without decontamination first. If he hunts in our water.
Yep.
That's it. Spray that boy down.
I got a question for you. You ever find any button dumps, or you had a mill there close to you? Did they ever get old clothes back and take all the buttons off and dump them someplace?
Yeah, there is one located in Connecticut. I haven't visited it yet myself, but I know a few guys that have. Some of the other treasure hunters in our area have been there many times, and they have found literally thousands and thousands of buttons. Yes.
I know Butch Holcomb went up. Actually, it was in New Jersey, and they hit a site like that. And I don't know, he brought home like 50 or 60 snake buckles.
Yeah, I saw that post. Yes.
I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah,
and he just came back he was up there again this time, and I don't know what all he found this time.
Right. Well, I can't blame him, though. If I was digging up snake buckles, I'd make sure to be back, too.
I would never leave. I'd have stood in there, snow and all.
Yeah, and I believe they weren't even used. There were so many targets, they couldn't even use a detector. They had to use a pinpointer at all, if that.
Yeah, that's correct.
I saw that post. In fact, I saw some of the ones that he got, and I guess some of them were actually holes. So they had both sides of it. It's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have one that I found in salt water about 3 years ago after the storm Sandy went through. I found it out in the middle of the water. I was about neck deep. I had my wetsuit on. I actually found half of it one day, and about 2 weeks later, I found the other half of it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was lucky. The first time I found just the latch part of it, but I saved everything, and I remember putting it on my desk inside of a clamshell that I have on my desk here in the office. And about 2 weeks went by, and I went back and I actually found, as soon as I found it, I knew I had the other piece of it at the house, in my office, because it was the same exact loop. So I must have, stumbled. I was really gridding the heck out of that one particular area after the storm. So that's why I found both pieces. Actually, it's 3 pieces altogether: the 2 latches and the snake piece.
Nice.
Cool. You got anybody else calling in, Josh? I'll get off of here.
Nope, no other calls right now.
Okay.
Yeah. No, we appreciate your input. That's for sure.
Yeah,
no, it's just some things that I know about, and I've always wanted. I've done bottle dumps, but I never got to do a button dump. I'm looking all over for Ohio, looking for a place they might have dumped buttons, but I haven't found anything like that yet. I have dug some trash pits, especially at that ghost town. I just happened to hit it by accident. I got a signal, and it was a Indian head penny, and I dug down there, and I saw broken glass, dug a little more, and I was in a trash pit. So, and I got 4 or 5 nice bottles out of there, but I had such a big mound of dirt up on top of the ground, I thought, boy, if a farmer comes by and sees me with this big mound of dirt, he'll have a hemorrhage. So I filled it back in.
Right. Yeah, well, maybe you might want to revisit there and let them know what you're doing next time, and who knows, maybe he'll, let you go at it. But, yeah, I know, I would have felt the same way.
At least you got a few goodies out of there before you filled it back in.
Yep, I did. Yeah. In fact,
I feel the same.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I feel the same way when I'm doing, local parks, too. That's why I always bring a small spade. I bring my 18-inch spade with me, and I try to make everything as small and as dainty as possible, but with still trying to recover it within means, you know what I'm saying? So that it doesn't look so funny, not only to, even just the walker-bys or the passer-bys, we constantly get confronted by people. Oh, what are you doing? As you know, and especially around here, we live in such a rural area. We have to really watch our P's and Q's, as I put it, and so we don't want to get kicked out. That's for sure. So we try to make things small, and we don't want a big mound of dirt. Even when I'm digging a 10 or 12-inch Indian head penny, that's a lot of dirt on the side of the hole. So I even flatten that out as I'm going along.
A good thing to carry along, and we used to have them here, the rinks bags. Remember those, Josh?
The what?
Actually, it was a good hard plastic bag, and I would cut those in squares and carry one with me in my pouch. And then when I did the hole like that, put the dirt on it, and of course flip your U-shaped dirt back. But from the dirt on that, find your target and pour the whole thing back in a hole, and they don't even know you were there. Pretty cool.
Right.
That's like, a lot of people like to carry these, what do they call them, relic towels, or you can order them from Calico and some of these other places for a few bucks a piece.
Yeah,
I'm not a big fan of them, though. They're too small to me.
Well, when you're out in the field, even in a field, I always put the dirt back the way I found it, because in Virginia, this happened, really. I went to a farmer, and the first thing he asked me, he said, "Where are you from?" And I said, "Ohio." And I thought, well, this Yankee's not going to get to hunt that place. And he said, welcome to hunt my property. He said, if you were from Virginia, I would tell you to get the heck off my property. And what happened is a guy came up and asked him for permission for him and his buddy. And this farmer went to town, and when he came back, there were 30 guys in the field, and they had dug holes all over the place and left the holes open. Now, he had cattle in the field, so there's an opportunity there for the cattle to break a leg or something. And that's very poor
it's poor
business on part of a relic hunter.
Absolutely.
You should fill back in your holes no matter where you're at.
You found them. Right. You had something to add to the whole ground cover cloths and dirt on the ground, Leighton?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I mean, I don't use it all the time, but, you know, if I noticed, if I'm in a park, any park for that matter, I always bring like a small dish towel with me.
Yeah, see, that's what I use is dish towels because they're bigger.
Right. Just enough to put the, you know, like he said, put the soil on top of it, and then you can just pick it up in a U shape and then just dump it back in. I mean, you know what? It doesn't take any longer. A few seconds. I mean, you know, you're not asking for much. So
right.
And it preserves the spot for you next time.
I used to have two buddies here in Ohio, and they don't hunt anymore. They say they're too old. I don't believe that. But they actually carried grass seed with them, and every time they'd dig a hole, they'd sprinkle some grass seed in there and had a bottle of water, put water on it, pat her down, and leave.
Yeah.
Well, I'd say that's a little extreme, but you know what? Kudos for them for doing it, I guess. I don't know.
Right.
And I don't hunt usually in the summertime on land. I'm a water hunter. Most of my hunting in the summertime's in the water.
And as far as being too old, my dad is 84 years old just the other day, and he's still swinging a detector. Okay?
Yeah, we had a guy at the DIV this time who was in his 80s. In fact, a couple of them.
Wow. Good. That's great. Yeah. I'm not saying he doesn't keep up with me anymore, but he's still swinging.
Well, good for him.
You know
I hope I get that old and I'm still swinging.
Me too.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
And you know, for some of us, that's what keeps us fit. I know there in Ohio, even if he was feeling it, Leighton was showing that he could get up and down them hills no problem. He was loving it.
Right. That's right. Yeah. So
hard guy to keep up with.
That's right. Exactly. No, you know, it's all how you know, I think it's all in your mind. It's all in the attitude. If you feel tired, you know, it's one thing, but if you tell yourself you can do it, I think it's all in the mindset. It really is.
I'll tell you what happened to me at DIV this time. The second day, I was hitting targets one right after another, and I got back to the hotel room. I could have stayed up all night. Because I was hunting, finding things. It was getting up and down, exercising. Yeah. Sunday came along. Actually, Saturday night, on the way back to the car, I found 3 bullets, just boom, boom, boom. And I found one of them in a hole that a guy had dug and did not fill the hole in. I was filling the hole in. I went over and I went, well, heck, there's a bullet in here. And I dug a bullet out. The next day, I went to the same spot, and because late in the evening on Saturday, it was cool and the conditions were just right. Sunday morning, it was warm. Conditions had changed. I couldn't find a bullet. Guy couldn't put one in my pouch. It would have fell out.
Wow.
It was crazy. And
well, I know how that goes. I have days like that myself.
Yeah, I mean, I found 2 bullets in the morning. That was the only thing I got. I finally found some more in the afternoon, but it was tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
Like yesterday.
Well, the day before I had hunted with RingFinder, I had been out, or not RingFinder, HomeFinder, and
Finders in here.
Yeah,
yes.
I had been out the day before that trying to do some hunting, make sure the machine still worked and all that, and I found plenty of clad, but it's like, man, I can't seem to grab an old coin if somebody had dropped it in my pocket.
Yeah. No.
But
Josh, you know where you were hunting over at Morgan's Hunt, down there in the bottomland with all you guys, the E-Tracks and ATXs and all that. Remember that right here by the road?
Uh-huh.
After you guys left there, I don't think you stayed around, but after you left there, I got out my GPS and I thought, I wonder if I can find anything over there. Walked right over there, and the first signal, about the second signal I got, the first signal I got was a little pistol bullet. The second signal I got about blew my headset off, and it was a eagle cup button and a ring in the same hole.
Well, see, and that's it's a good thing we all went through there and took out a bunch of that trash for you.
I was still getting the trash signals, but the GPX, you could get by that. And then out there in the middle where the cows had tramped down, it looked like a low spot and was real wet. I dug that spoon at almost 14 inches out there.
Nice.
It was crazy. Yeah. And the guy was standing there, and he says, "You're not going to find anything here. Everybody's hunted this spot." And I said, "Man, I'm getting a good signal here for some reason."
You never find it all.
Yeah, no, never. Nope, never. And I want to thank Bill, Ohio Relic Hunter. He's still on here yet. He found my lychee tool that I lost up there. He said,
"Oh, good. I saw you posted about that. I'm glad he found it for you. Good guy."
Yeah, he's a good guy. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, because it would have been just as easy for somebody to stick it in their pouch or something. No, I didn't find it.
Yeah. Well, he went back there and he found it. I hope he finds that pinpoint or something they lost. But, well, you know, in those leaves, you can lose them real fast.
There was more than one pinpointer lost?
I think so. I'm pretty sure he's still looking for that one.
Oh, wow.
Huh. Because I know there was one that was lost Saturday, but they found that one.
Right.
Okay, I didn't know. How about a Bill? Are you listening? Are you still looking for that pinpointer?
There may have been more than one, though.
I know they found one. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That was Kenny's.
Yeah.
Kenny's.
Oh yeah, I helped look for Kenny's, and actually a guy came. Where the heck was he from? England or I forget where.
Yeah, that was Dan.
Netherlands.
Dan found that. He just walked and he saw it laying there and he picked it up for him. Thank goodness.
Oh, good eye.
Yep, there's still another one out there.
Huh.
Two pinpointers lost, one was found. Yep, that's what Bill just said.
Well, hopefully it was like the Garrett Carrot or something that's waterproof, so maybe they can recover it and it'll still work.
Well, the other will work too. I mean, the other Garrett, I mean, that's all I ever use. I got the Carrot and never could figure the thing out. I just put it back in the box. But I'm still old school, and I like my old Garrett pinpointer, the old one.
Yeah. Them carrots are nice.
Yep. I turned it on, couldn't figure out how to turn it off.
Yeah.
You gotta hold it down.
Yep.
You gotta hold that. It's different than the original when you gotta hold it down momentarily for it to shut off.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just used the original one, and I'll tell you what, I've had. When they went bad, I sent them back, and they just sent me a brand new one. But I usually put my initials all over mine, so.
Me too, yeah.
I take a knife, and I scratch my initials in it, and then I take white marker and mark right over the initials, and it's not hard to see who it belongs.
Right, really makes it kind of pop out there.
Yeah, you can put tape on them. That just means somebody else has got tape like the same one. So, but if you put your initials on it, pretty much says it's yours.
Right.
That's true.
I've already put stickers inside of them also, but all I got to do is pull a sticker out and say, well, that's mine. So that doesn't work either.
Yeah.
Yep.
Unless you get on a like Bill. Thank you, Bill.
There you go.
Well, I'm going to get off here. It was really nice talking to you guys. I wished I could come over east sometime and go metal detecting in the water, but I'm afraid of sharks.
Well, you know, that's why we all carry knives with us, so we can just cut the guy in front of us and they go for them.
Right. You ain't got to be faster than the shark, just faster than the other guy.
That's right. There you go. All right. Well, I'll talk to you guys later. Good show, Josh.
All right.
All right. Good night.
And I actually found myself in a spot right before the dig. I don't know, maybe a week out. I needed a couple of accessories to take to the hunt with me. Had to get them quick. And I made sure to put a call out to Evan Granger, and I'll tell you what, 2-3 days later, there it was. He's quick with the shipping. Good guy to deal with.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've dealt with him myself And you're right. You can call him today. He'll have it in the mail by this afternoon.
Oh, yeah. I mean, when I needed it, I'm like, uh-oh, I need this one quick. I gotta make sure it's here before I leave. Who do I call? I know. I'll get a hold of Evan. Right. He'll take care of it, and sure enough, he come through flying colors.
Yep. No, I've dealt with him personally on a few occasions where I need, I needed something, any kind of tool or anything like that, and it's usually within 3 days. It's definitely, if you order it on a Monday, you'll have it by Thursday, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You order it at the beginning of the week, you'll have it by the end, no doubt.
Right.
You can't beat that kind of service, especially when you, like in that particular situation, I had to have it before I left.
Right,
so
right. Yeah,
I was able to get a hold of him in time where he's like, no problem, it's in the mail this afternoon, and sure enough, it showed up, I believe, 2 days before I left.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was real fast with it.
Quick.
Yep, right there, you give him a call, and like with me, I always pay him through PayPal. And I called him and said, hey, this is what I need. Sent the payment out. He sent me a message saying, hey, it's in the mail. All I had to do was sit and wait. A couple days later, bam, right there on your doorstep.
Yep. Doesn't take very long, that's for sure.
No, not at all. Definitely not.
So I wanted to ask you, you said you were having, or I thought you said you were having some peanut butter pie.
Mm-hmm.
Is it really all that's in it is peanut butter and whipped cream?
Well, there's cream cheese in it as well, and
cream cheese. Okay.
A lot of sugar.
Yeah, like you said, the old
diabetic.
Oh my goodness, that's not good.
Yeah,
but it sounds good.
It is good, but it's a little on the rich side.
Yeah, that's okay. It's all good.
And a little pricey to make too.
Oh man, what is it today? Everything we buy is expensive. I don't care what it is. I mean, he was just talking about pinpointers. Those are $1.39 a piece. Those carrots, the carrot. I mean, here's the deal. When we were all growing up, guys 40s, 50s, the newer generation, they're kind of used to the higher prices, but it's all relevant to what you are when you're growing up. But I remember fishing was a poor man's sport. It really was a poor man's sport.
Yeah, not so much now.
No, there's so much to choose from. This is the thing. This is what, we've gotten away from the basics, and there's just too many options in everything that we do today. Yeah. That's just my personal feeling. I mean, no matter what it is, even water, stacked water. There's like 8 different kinds of water. It's water, people.
Yeah.
I mean, same thing with these, the Garrett carrot and the ones for land, and you've got Mind Labs with theirs, and so you've got like 10 different choices. What do? Of course, we all listen nowadays. Thank God for the internet. We can all kind of figure out what's better and what's not.
Right. See people's customers' feedback, product reviews.
Right. And, then it's just this game that we all play. Is it cheaper on, Amazon? Is it cheaper going through Evan? Is it cheaper going through, whoever? Whoever you
Can I use a coupon or an E-code?
Right. So that's what it really boils down to, where you can get the cheapest deal for the best product, which is okay.
I mean, everybody wants the best bang for their buck.
Right, and I find myself doing the same thing. I'm not going to lie. I mean, if I can get a coil cheaper somewhere else, I'm a loyal customer. But if I'm loyal, then you should be loyal on the price too. And that's what I always get when I'm dealing with Evan. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you're right. I mean, just the prices of things anymore. I mean, and it's been a while. But do you happen to remember what the retail was of your first metal detector?
The what was?
The retail.
Yes, $279. I actually still have the original receipt.
Wow.
$279. It was a White's It was actually a White's Coin Master.
And in its day, that was a good machine.
It was a very good. It was a VLF machine. It was a very good machine. And actually, I take that back. It was my uncle had the Coin Master. We had the sister model, which was the Gold Master. Same exact machine, just two different words on each side of each machine. But they basically looked like an 18 or 20 inch long rectangle box that weighed about 7 pounds. They basically looked like and they came with two coils. One was a 15-inch coil and one was a 6-inch coil.
Right.
And we always found that the smaller one, because it was so heavy to begin with, to swing that big, 15-inch, that the 6-inch always worked for us. So we stuck with the 6-inch. We didn't feel like we were getting any more depth with the coil anyway, the big coil. All we were doing was just covering more ground. So, $279.
And then look at the prices now if you want a good machine. I mean, granted, $279, you can still get an Ace 250, the MineLab Go Find series, the Fisher, F2s, I believe?
Yeah, the F2s, yeah.
So they're still decent machines.
Oh, they are, definitely. Well,
but like a good quality machine, you're definitely going to pay for it, and it's not going to come with a small price tag.
Right. Well, like I was just telling Ringfinder, it's like, with the cuts up here in New England, that's to our advantage. It doesn't really matter how good the machine is. I'm not gonna badmouth any of them, because there is no bad machine. But
yeah, they all find metal.
They all find something. That's right. And you've got just as much a good chance as finding a ring as I do right beside me in the same cut, because it's not a matter of how deep you go, it's whether you put your machine over it. And
it's who gets the coil over the target.
First, exactly. First come, first serve there at those beach cuts. So that's why you'll see 15 or 20 guys after a storm, sometimes even more. It depends on how long the cut is, how long it's been there, how many guys are involved, who got wind of it the day before. There's a lot to take into consideration, but
yeah, I was going to say
first serve.
That would be a good question for you too. I'm sure you've seen this, when those beaches cut, and like you said, you get out there, there's 15, 20 guys working these cuts. Do you ever notice that some of them seem to be very excited or whatever? Maybe they're swinging their coil like they're,
golfing,
cutting down weeds or something.
Yeah, like they're golfing. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And then follow along behind them or something and pick up what they missed, because they were just they were breezing right through because they're, I'm in a hurry, I got to get up there before the next guy.
I try not to let that intimidate my mind thought, because I call that it's almost like putting the whammy on someone, because I'll tell you, if you show somebody what you're finding continuously throughout the hunt, if a friend of yours or maybe just an acquaintance of yours, hey, look what I got. Hey, look what I got. Hey, look. It puts a damper on their hunt. You can use that to your advantage. You can use it to your advantage. So it happens here a lot, unfortunately, but it's the truth of the matter. And that's what creates people to get jealous, and it creates people to leapfrog you. It creates things like, how can I say this? It creates someone to swing a little more abnormally than they normally would have.
Yeah, a little more aggressively.
I try to get into a mindset. I try not to worry about anybody else's finds. If they've got a good find and they show me, I try not to think about it. It's fantastic. I'll shake your hand. Congratulations. And I just keep gritting. I don't let that affect my hunting ability. I do not let it affect me.
It's a good way to be with it.
Yeah. And it produces. I always, I always try to come out with at least, like I've told you before in other shows, my personal goal is 1 silver coin or object a day. If I find that, I'm a happy camper. If I don't, oh well, but that's my personal goal. And if I find more than that, and after some of these storms, even this year, I started out with a heck of a bang. I mean, there were some days there I was getting 40 and 50, and I think I even had one day of 60 silver coins in one day, one hunt. So, the storms are fantastic up here for us. Now, I'm not saying that every beach is the same. You might go to a beach that has a cut. There might not be anything in the cut. Right. I'm also hunting, you got to remember, I'm also hunting an area that goes back to the very early 1800s.
Yeah, a lot of history.
A lot of history in that particular area. There were circuses there. It was the part what they considered to be the Cape Cod back in the day, which now it's moved further south. So it was one of the first beaches that were just out of Boston area, and everybody congregated there. So there were everything from circuses there to rides, playgrounds. Everything was there. There was shops to shop in. There was everything that you could possibly want, all in one little town, and it was all located right on the beach. So everybody brought everything that they owned when they came to the New World right there.
Right.
So there's everything. I've seen everything come out of there, from tags to gold jewelry to antique chains.
And everything in between.
And everything in between. I've seen USA buttons come out of there. I've seen Spanish cobs come out of there. I've seen, pretty much everything that that's the snake buckle I got out of there. Everything from all sorts of walks of life, all the way from the early 1800s.
Right.
The oldest coin I've seen come out of there so far, there's been two of them. Mine was one of them. It was a Spanish cob, 1715, like the ones that you find down in Sebastian, Florida. Mm-hmm. Looks just like one of those coins off the 1715 fleet. And the other oldest one that I've seen come out of there, I take that back too. I got a 1622 copper coin that I still haven't identified, but I've got a clear date on it, 1622. And then I've got another coin, not mine, but a friend of mine found, a 1799, and he just got it this year, silver dollar.
Nice.
A 1799 silver dollar come out of there. Yeah, that's the oldest three coins that I know of that come out of there.
I'd be tickled pink with a 17 anything.
Yeah, 1799 silver dollar. If you look them up, his is, like we talked about earlier, his is a filler coin. It's been in the salt water, but it's got a clear date on it. It was found on that beach. It was not after a hurricane, believe it or not, or a cut. It was on a regular hunt day. He went by himself, and he text messaged me from the beach, and he showed me it. I said, I can't believe you actually found one. I've never even seen one, outside of a coin show.
And it beats mine. I don't have any.
If I told him if it said 1804, he would have been singing all the way to the bank. But it's still worth about $1,000, I guess. Great coin.
Hey,
fantastic. Still. Yeah, it's a nice coin.
I'd take it.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So.
Well, it's been a great time. I think we're probably getting pretty near the end of our rope, though.
Awesome. Hey, listen, thanks for having me, and I want to wish everybody a safe and happy holiday, and happy Thanksgiving to you and Tam and everybody, and we'll catch up with you again.
Well, and as always, thanks for sitting in. There's an open invitation anytime. And I guess for the listeners, like we mentioned earlier in the show, if we can figure out how to throw this together, I'd stay tuned.
You're not going to want to miss that, that's for sure.
Yeah. And like Leighton mentioned in the show, no other show has attempted this, to the best of our knowledge.
Correct.
And it'll be a doozy.
Yeah.
So
we'll definitely announce it. We'll announce it once we get a little more information on it, and I think that it'll be a fun thing to do for everybody, and I know they will enjoy it. That's for sure. I'll guarantee you that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. For whoever may be deemed winner of this interesting package, I think they would definitely enjoy it.
Yeah.
But we'll have to wait and see what happens. You know, they can stay tuned. Maybe we'll drop a little breadcrumb here or there, and hopefully after the first of the year, you know, after the holiday season and everything, maybe we'll have all our turkeys in a row, so to speak, and be able to make an announcement about it and let people know what we're kind of cooking up here.
Right, yeah, we'll let some things, you know, all the holidays go by and everything, but we won't forget, believe me.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. I think this, for me, it's going to be neat just to watch it all unfold.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe we can do it in like a 2-part system. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we got, you know, we've got a little bit of time ahead of us where we can plan or plot and see what happens.
Sounds like a plan, buddy. Can't wait.
All right. Well, for everyone else, you know the drill. If you enjoyed the show, like, rate the channel, click the hands, throw us some stars, show us some love. That keeps the giveaways coming. Other than that, if you're out for the holidays, you're traveling for Thanksgiving, drive safe, travel safe, be well, eat well, and enjoy the time with family. Enjoy the time we've got with each other, and until the next time, get out there and make some finds, folks. Let's see them posted. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.